Hey everybody, this is Market Zero. We have an update for the Copilot group. As I started using the footprint indicator, I realized I needed additional information on the chart, and therefore I started developing two other indicators, a volume profile indicator and a key levels indicator. Those are in production and being used by my pilot group and by myself daily in trading. So this Sunday, I will be sending out invites to everybody that's on the Copilot list group to give them an opportunity to access three of the Market Zero indicators. That would be the Footprint Pro, the Volume Profile Pro, and the Key Levels Pro indicators. They're going to be offered at a significant discount from the full price. For a limited time, I'm going to have a trial period available to everybody that joins in the Copilot group that will extend into 2026. Play with it before decide if you want to purchase or not. And this will be for NinjaTrader Windows desktop only. So let me go into these three indicators in detail and how I've used them actually today. So the first one, the footprint indicator. You'll notice in here that we have things like buyer absorption. Today we had strong buyers come up and bring price up to 68.70 area, and then they kind of get hung up here. And here at the footprint indicator, you can see that we have buyer absorption. We have a 913. Buyers get absorbed. Again, here at 1100, buyer absorption level, we see these gray circles indicating there's larger participants that are engaging in price action at that time. We also see buyer volume imbalances. You'll notice these outlined areas will indicate either there are selling imbalance or buyer imbalance based on the colors. Here we've seen a lot of buying happening here. It was just getting absorbed, and finally we saw that at this, I guess, triple top reversal at yesterday's high a day, we had over 1,000 buyer absorption at the high a day with a buyer volume imbalance along with a zero print, which means here we were observing that there were buyers here, but nobody taking the opposite side of that trade. And so there was a zero print and indicating in this instance exhaustion, especially because we have the absorption here and a key level, which is the high a day from yesterday. All these were able to be leveraged to help take a short off of this failure at the high a day. Things I've kept in mind here, though, when I took the trade is that with the Footprint Pro indicator, we see stacked volume balance as well. So here, there was tremendous amount of buying here that drove price up. And so this would have been an area I was watching closely to see if we would reverse on this. You can see we held here and had an absorption down here around 68.60, some sellers. But after this, we were able to break down through to the downside. The next indicator, the volume profile indicator. So this one actually was more difficult to create than the footprint indicator, but there's a lot of robust functionality with this. So here we can see we not only have today's volume profile, but we also have the option to have yesterday's volume profile sticky on the left-hand side. This is really helpful to see when there are deltas, where the POC is. Low volume nodes, which you'll see here. Low volume nodes can be adjusted about their intensity and how they show up. Here we can see the previous day volume profile, low volume nodes appearing here from 1217, which price never had a chance to test. And then from today, we had some low volume nodes. One we can see here occurred right at this buyer volume imbalance. And the second one at today's opening range high in the first 30 minutes. Other things you observe here is this here shows the delta. And I have a filter set up so that I only see the delta based on a quantity or value greater than a certain number. Here I have it set to a minimum of 800 to show the delta. And here, again, we see a lot of buying here at these high of day levels. We see 2,900, 800. I wish we had a 1,200 seller delta here. But then again, we see 2,700 buyer delta, another 1,000 buyer delta. It shows that buyers are aggressive. They're trying to move price up, but there's a passive seller at the top here that is absorbing all this price action, and hence today's failure at this high day level. And the last indicator that'll be available to the co-pilots that's being used by myself and the pilots is the key levels indicator. You'll be able to see things automatically rendered to this chart, such as high a day. We have the close from 2 days ago, and we also have the overnight high from today, which actually at this point lines up with VWAP. And I also have the option to render the opening range. You can set that for any time you want. So all these were, again, helpful for me to take this trade. Here, this failure at yesterday's high a day, and then seeing these low volume node around the close from 2 days ago gave me a strong plan to move into a trade that I saw as a A+ setup. Here's a trade I took earlier today. You'll notice, first of all, that I actually have trade of it set up here on the side next to my NinjaTrader charts. I just find it's easier to do entry and exit on my trades because I'm probably used to that based on using trade of it for so long. So this is how I set up my charts. You'll notice that on this side, I am using ES, but I'm actually trading with the micro, not the E-minis. Now, the reason I jumped in on this is because I saw that we took the price action all the way up to the high a day from yesterday. And at that level, we saw an absorption of buyers, 913. In addition to that, we have that gray circle indicating that there is a large participant that is running price up here. Now, as price continued moving here, I saw sellers were stepping in. We have a stacked volume imbalance right here, and this correlates with a 1,000 plus buyer delta, which is indicating that there's a passive seller up here that is absorbing all of this aggressive buying up here. And then we see aggressive sellers creating this volume imbalance. As we continued up here, we probably sit up here for, I don't know, I think it was over an hour. It was just camped out here forever. While I was in this trade, I definitely getting a bit nervous at times, but you see that I'm setting in my stop loss and my profit targets ahead of time so that I'm not going to be guessing where price should be. Should I get in out of it? Part of this is that setting these price targets and stop loss ahead of time allows me to not really pay attention. I went and did other things while this is going, and I have alerts set to my charts and gets pushed to my phone and watched so I can see when the trade closes, whether it's stopping out or if it's taking profit. And you see that at this point, I've actually moved my first price target down at to 52, which was correlating with this low volume node just above the opening range high. And then my other profit targets were set down at 48, which was front running this pink line, which is the 50-day moving average on ES. And then this last one, 43, I was front running this area down here, which this has this stacked volume buyer imbalance here, which is just above the overnight high and VWAP. So kind of front running all of these areas where I expect there could be potential for a reversal. And finally, price did move after that absorption you see up here. We see there's that zero print and volume imbalance. And continue moving this forward here in time. Yeah, at this point, I was pretty confident that after seeing absorption twice appear of buyers at 913 and then 1116, and all of this delta on the volume profile for today, I was confident that we had enough liquidity absorbed that we would be able to blow through this stacked volume imbalance from the buyers and the close from 2 days ago through this low volume node and at least touch the opening range high at the 30-minute mark, which we end up doing that, and I believe quite a bit more. Here you can see now we start clearing out. So as price moves down, it clears out those stacked volume balances, and your chart will automatically update. Things look probably a little fuzzy here because I'm doing this replay off of my recording from OBS Studio. Then you see here, then price it just went down all the way. And I think got down to the point of almost probably this other volume imbalance from a day or two ago. Down in this area, we see some delta from the previous day's volume profile. And you see I scaled out of my position and didn't catch the whole trade, but catching enough to, if you can consistently do that over time, you're going to be a profitable, consistent trader. So this Sunday, emails will go out to everybody in the Copilot list. You'll receive the opportunity for access to these 3 Market Zero indicators: the Footprint Pro, the Volume Profile Pro, and the Key Levels Pro. Again, there'll be significant discounts only for the Copilot group for a limited time. We'll have a free trial to extend until 2026 because of the holidays. It is for NinjaTrader Windows Desktop only. You can either use Parallels, something of that nature. Some people actually purchased inexpensive desktop or laptop computers as well, which you could do as long as you meet the minimum requirements for NinjaTrader's platform to run. And you can sign up at my website, marketzero.com, where you can secure your Copilot seat. Once the invites go out, you will be able to log into my custom user management area where you can manage your subscriptions, download the indicators and instructions for how to install that. If you have any questions, let me know. Drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts.